A lot of us in this journey called life are going to have this experience. Hello there and welcome to REFLO'S TV. It's your girl, REFLO'S Church Girl, and it's another exciting and educational content being produced from our quarters. But do not forget that this video is powered by REFLO'S sanitary pads. Your well-being is our number one priority because you deserve the best. And do not forget to patronize us by buying our sanitary pads that have been made with quality and affordability as marks that we cannot go by. And for my ladies out there, we have a new product on board. For those of you who are heavy flowing, extra long, extra wide, extra thick to hold you in the time of the month. And don't forget that there is dignity in doing it right. So today we are talking about trauma and how we can manage it from our sides. And I want to say that a lot of people may have gone through this experience, or in their lifetime are going to go through this experience that we're talking about. That's trauma. And I'm going to share with you a personal experience and how I dealt with it from my side. So, a relative of mine put me through something, and this is something that I don't really like to talk about. Though I have overcome it, sometimes when I talk about it, it comes with a lot of emotions. This very close relative of mine, we belong to a certain group in a certain space, and she decided to intentionally, and I would say intentionally, tarnish my image to the very people that we were relating to in that space. What confuses me about this thing is that from the accounts I learned about, this was something this person did continuously, consistently, and it was something she was doing back to back, and it took only an event for me to come to terms with the level of damage she had done to me. And thankfully, time saved me, and it happened that these people got to understand that all these accounts were not true. I could not wrap my head around why a very close person, like a relative, would sit down and manufacture accounts that were not true about me, all because she wanted to tarnish my image in the eyes of these people and win their favor. This was something that kept me thinking for months. I was very distressed. I was very heartbroken. And especially for the fact that when I heard this account, at the time, we were experiencing something in our space that I could not have confronted this person on. And so I had to resort to silence and quietness. I could not have faced this person at that time. I needed to defer whatever confrontation I needed to do or I wanted to do to a later age. And ask me what I went through. It was really bad. I would wake up in the morning, and if I begin to pray, I'm unable to pray. I had this running through my mind. I kept asking myself, what have I done to deserve this? What have I done to this person to deserve this kind of hatred? Have I been living with this kind of hatred for all of these years? Why would this person even go and say something that is not true about me? So how about if these people had not told me, and these are the people I've heard this thing from? What about those I have not heard? How am I even going to answer to them? So these were the things that kept running through my mind day in, day out, not being able to pray, not being able to think straight, and not being able to confront this person. It took a toll on me, a huge toll, I tell you. And it got to a point I needed to let it out to a trusted person. I am not someone who really speaks to anybody at all. So I really had to take time to think through who I wanted to speak to, who I wanted to share this with. And I shared this to this person. This person, I remember something the person told me that, you cannot always control what people do to you. The only thing that you can control is how you react towards whatever they have done to you. And so for me and for this situation that I've just spoken about, given the fact that I could not talk about it or face or confront the person at the time because of what was happening within our space, I had to choose another alternative. And the person said it was either I was going to defer it to a later stage before I talked about it, or I was going to look past it and never talk about it and forgive the person. And it was good because after I had shared the story, I felt the burden had been lightened. And, as they say, a problem shared is half solved. So this was the reality to me, or what happened as and when I spoke to the person, or I was able to let everything out to the person. What does this tell you? Every one of us will go through their own unique traumatic experiences, and keeping it all here does not always help. And my concern is the emotional consequences that it brings to us. Sometimes the health implications that it has on us. Whoever has caused you this traumatic experience may not even know, or do not even give a hoot about whatever they have done to you. In my case, the person who had done this to me was walking a free man somewhere, and I was there battling this emotion each morning, each time, not being able to pray, not being able to think straight. And so, yes, I would advise that seek counseling. And it is something that in our part of the world we don't prioritize, but it is very important. A professional person that you can speak to. Sometimes it's a family member that you can trust. Sometimes it's a friend, it's a teacher, it's somebody who belongs to the faith that you answer to. Sometimes it is a professional that you can pay to do this for you. Another thing I did was that as a person of faith, I kept praying, even though it was very difficult, because given the height of what the person had done to me, I always prayed that I would not retaliate, because if I was going to do that, I was going to turn to that person what the person was, or even more than what the person was. And so in your traumatic moments, in your traumatic circumstances and experiences, please be sure that you cannot do it alone. You cannot do it by yourself. You need to get an outlet where you can pour this, and you need to find something to do about it. In my case, I prayed. If it helps you, you can adapt to it and see the way forward. The end of this matter was that I did defer this, and when it was a year later that I spoke about it to this person, but at the time I faced this person, the pain was already gone and it did not become dramatic, and the person was really put to shame for what they had done to me. What is the lesson? You cannot always control what is external. You cannot always control what happens to you. What you can do is how you react to it. What you can do with trauma is how you react to it. So let me hear and see in the comments section your peculiar experience to what we are sharing today about trauma and how you have dealt with it. Did you adapt what I did in my story, or you have other alternatives to share? You can let me know that in the comment section. And do not forget that this program has been made possible by REFLO'S Sanitary Pads. Your well-being is the number one priority, because your number one health is our concern, and we want you to purchase our products and call the number 055 111 1169, 055 111 1169. Visit our office at Medina Social Welfare or Howard Avenue. And this video is brought to you by REFLO'S sanitary pads. So catch you same time next week on another edition of this program. It's a bye. Look deeply into the eyes of your partner. Again, non-verbally professing that love that you have for them. Telling them that you are the one I would always want to look at.